Welcome back, fellow armchair generals. This is Gamer1745, and yes, this time we are actually going to play Hoi 4. Gamer rant about fantasy, yes. And we're playing here, but I'll say, yeah, I'm not against people doing fantasy stuff. I just want to see the real history stuff done first, especially by the company. Mod makers, of course, can do whatever they want. That's really cool. You gotta remember, game historical is very interesting, but fantasy can be great fun. No, we're gonna see about taking Valencia. Yeah, you're right, Toy. It can be great fun. And maybe more profitable. Japan declares war on China. I'm just an old school war gamer that wants to play World War II games. You know, because you know me railing about, and I know people like Fritz agree with me. They don't want to see post-World War II vehicles, even if they're well balanced. Even if they're well balanced, in my War Thunder games that I'm playing World War II stuff. I don't want to be playing Germany fighting Italy. Well, it did actually happen a little bit. Well, I don't want to be Britain fighting America in my War Thunder games. I want to be Germany fighting my historical enemies. I want to be Britain fighting my historical enemies. That's what I want to play. Now, I love the game enough that I put up with the bullshit, but I want to do that. And you go, well, but it's fun to you know, have American versus British. Okay, but just give me that little button down in the corner that says only play historical matchups, and wait until a historical matchup can be found until you get that. And I'd click that button. Pay 4 times as much for a premium account if you only get historical matchups of World War II. Yeah, I'll pay 4 times as much easily. Hell, I'd probably pay 10 times as much if it was done well for historical matchups that I'd be able to grind tanks. Including post World War II matchups, you know, NATO versus Warsaw Pact, not NATO Germany versus American Germany. You know, you can have Warsaw Pact Germany versus NATO Germany. That would be fine. You know, I would pay more money. I would pay, you know, significant. Well, I already pay money for War Thunder anyways, but I would pay real money to have just that historical matchup option. So that's where I'm coming from. So if you give me DLC, I bought this DLC and I didn't even really pay attention to what's free and what was in the DLC. I presume the railroads are in the free section here, but I want to buy the historical stuff first. I'm not saying I won't. Like I say, you're a very unique customer, and no doubt most of the people would be interested. Well, no, I'm not. Azad. Hey, Azad! It's been a while since I've seen you around here. Good to have you back. Been wondering about your take on what's going on with India, China, and the AUKUS thing. AUKUS alliance that's forming down there as an anti-Chinese alliance. But because I can look over at all of the purchasers of Strategic Command World War II, the various versions of that game, and all of the purchasers of War Plan, they all want that, okay? I can also look at all of the purchasers of War in the East 2 and all of the other War in the West won, War in the East won, War in the Pacific. So all of these grand strategy players, all of the all the purchasers of The World in Flames. Now that does not have an AI. That's why I've never bought it, and it's goddamn expensive, and hundreds of dollars. And Matrix or Slytherin hasn't offered me a code for it or something, because I think are they the publishers for it? I'm not sure, but I haven't got a code for that. So I'm not spending it without being able to play against the AI. I'm not buying that. So, and there are still lots of people that buy tabletop board games, strategy games of World War II, and I don't, because there's the tactical, whether like the Ardennes offensive games. But probably most of those Ardennes offensive players would also be, the people that buy that game would also want to have this. So I am not unique. Now, it doesn't mean I'm in the majority. I've learned that I'm not. Same old gamer, yes. What, do you expect me to change much? So I know there's a huge audience out for it, a huge one. Now, it might be smaller than hey, I want to restore the the Byzantine Empire audience, because I've come to learn there's a player base for Paradox games, and the player base for Paradox games are EU4 members, CK or EU4 players, CK players, and Victoria players. This is the player base for Paradox games. And it's why when I go and I stream over or I talk on forums over on the Paradox and Matrix sites, which, yes, are a lot smaller, they have disdain for Paradox games because they're so unhistorical. They have true disdain for it. And now some like both. I mean, there is a Venn diagram that's, that like both, but they're out there, and they would get they get huge numbers of sales if they did a more historical game for Hoi 4. Maybe not more, but definitely more. Other than the game you're playing was Battle of the Bulge. So much fun doing Barbarossa, the best thing I played. Yeah. On AUKUS, I think the Aussies have chosen to sacrifice their economy. Then again, I doubt the Chinese trade was going to be all that beneficial in the very long, given the state of their demography. Yeah. Yes, thank you, Arno. Those of watching over on YouTube, you can give the stream a thumbs up. I'm a sucker for war games. Yeah, and I like realistic what ifs, realistic ones. Let's see if we have the command power, we have the political power. Let's see, they will not accept. They won't accept. Would they accept? They won't accept. Neither power will accept my, maybe I have to befriend them a bit more to send an advisor over to the. Well, Ragnar, okay, yes, not every World War II game should be locked into the historical. That's why I said realistic what ifs. Let's say why. Here's what Paradox should do, and this is really what they should probably do right now, is that they should get a big dump truck full of money and license Captain America, Wonder Woman, and Superman, and put them in Hoi 4, because there are so many people out there that like those superheroes, and they should add that into the base game. Because, hey, they're fun superheroes. And you can have Captain America out on the battlefield and Superman flying around, knocking down Nazi planes. And you can have Wonder Woman flying around in her invisible jet, shooting down other planes. Yay! We ought to do that. I mean, I think they will get a lot of players, or a lot of people that want to play that. That would be a good business decision for them. Not one that I want to play, but hey, let's go for this. If we're going to go for this, let's go for this. It's a video about just drop six blocks of ice cream in the Pacific to ground forces. Okay, didn't know about that. So yeah, it just friend focus first, yes. So yeah, it's, people want to go to play all these other things. Now you gave them an idea, and they would make Hearts of Iron superheroes game. Now the big thing is I don't know the licensing on it, costs. But hey, wait a few more years and they can do it without that, because at least for the original comics, I don't know when Superman was first started. Wonder Woman and Captain America were, I believe, during World War II started. Eventually the licensing falls away, and they're, at least for the original versions, they'll be in the public domain, so they can just add them that way. Sure, Lord Samuel. Have a good meal. See you later, I hope. Okay, so we now have free civilian factories. I want more civilian factories. I may be overbuilding on some of these, but I want a lot because I want to be ready to build railroads and things. Okay, we've got the panzers here. I'll wait for our infantry division to catch up. Oh, and you got to make it so you have to actively mod the game not to have the superheroes in the game. It's not like it's a DLC choice. It's just in the base game. You've got to play with that unless you're playing a modded game. You've got to have the superheroes in the game. And that would probably be more popular. Now, it would piss off a lot of other people, but hey, it would be more popular. See, I'm an additive type person when it comes to this, not a subtractive. Meaning I'm fine if they actually want to do a superheroes DLC, but I don't want to see it in the base game. I only want it to be in a in a DLC that's used, and I want them to first make the World War II game before they make the fantasy game. We're going to do radios now. Yeah, well, right now, let's see. Right now, I'm building one fuel silo to increase my fuel storage. No, it's a synthetic refinery. We've been building fuel silos. We have been building. So we are building one synthetic refinery here, which will give us both fuel bonus gain and rubber gain here. So yeah, we are doing some of that. And I have built some military factories. Let's look at air power. Okay, we're still sort of air over the area that we're operating under. So yeah. That's why I hate air zones. I hate air zones. Have I said that before? Thanks to Disney, I highly doubt any of those signature characters will ever be made public, especially as Disney owns Captain America. Okay, well, my understanding is that Disney is in a panic mode right now because the IP license, the intellectual property, whatever you want to say, on Mickey Mouse is about, and they're the ones that got it extended, is my understanding, years ago now. Is about to come into the public domain. Now, so that doesn't mean that you can take Mickey Mouse stuff made, I don't know, in the 1950s that it would be in the public domain. But the idea of the Mickey Mouse character, at least based out of the early elements of it, will be in the public domain very soon. That's my understanding, and Disney's sort of trying to fight that. I don't know its success rate. I want to try again over here. Oh, let's see. And attaché. Nope, they'll not accept it. I'm not going to waste my power on that. Research speed, ability. I don't like these. I don't like the idea that the companies here make fighters either more agile or speedier or whatever. I wish they would give an air research bonus and then bonuses to certain types, additional bonuses to certain types of research based upon what the companies did. That's how I would do all this. Now that they have reworked Navy and Army, especially tanks, maybe the next one will be. Yeah, they very well could be doing that. Again, I'm out of the beta, so I don't know what they're doing. We did do one special model. For some reason, it gave us this picture for a Panzer III medium tank. I don't know why. It gave me a picture of a 38T infantry Geschütz carrier, but it did. I don't get that, but okay. Pre-live should be nerfed, not strengthened. Absolutely, Rhaegar. You're supposed to now race down here and cut off Valencia from the land. That was my point of attacking here, and you can support the attack there. Oh, no. Back to attacking again, so you can select a picture itself. Cool. Oh, can I? Okay. Yeah. Again, if you've watched my live episode, you've seen. Well, no. Wait a minute. No, that's not. Okay, that's not what I want to do. Can you do it on something that's already designed? Problems with Polish forces. Yeah, I have noticed a little bit of. Okay. Use best match. Okay. Okay, great. Thanks. I did not know about this. I'll have to make a little tutorial about this. Thugs, no. This is basically, I think, a 37mm Panzer III, which I'll take to be that, which I'm hoping will why didn't it? No, I don't want to do that. No. Or create the variant. I just maybe have to do it at creation. Yeah, I guess it's just at creation. You get to do that. I'll make a tutorial on that. Gasoline is faster, diesel is more fuel saving. Very nice. Yes, they're I wish you could more easily just, and I presume modders will make it, know what the historical ones are. The historical choices, I should say, to come up with. Okay, we have art. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to come in here and we're going to add 2 more. Treaty with the USSR. Okay, good. Now. Change this just yet, but let's look here. So they haven't quite updated. I don't think, because this should be 2 times research bonus technology for basic medium chassis. Maybe I've already used up that. This one. Yeah, okay, so maybe I should have done that before making that medium tank. Okay, well, I'm learning the new thing here. Let's befriend Japan now so that we can maybe send an advisor out there. Oh, you need to save it? Is that what I didn't do? Okay, well, let's go back here. Denzel 3. That could be what I... That be a... Okay. Okay, there we go. That's better. Okay, thank you. And support MGs and stuff. Pretty cool. Yeah, it is pretty cool. I like it. Soviets accept. Okay, well maybe that now happens. Under the research. Yeah. I'm used to mod icons up here. I'm not used to looking at these things. No, still 600. So it's probably for that one. Okay, well. Down here. Okay, we've encircled them. They've taken Valencia. Unfortunately, I was too looking at other places, and they were able to fill in their line here. Now, what we should do is move to here, because I really don't care about this. Oh, they do have somebody here. I don't really care about that province. I want to get to this and cut off the Madrid pocket, if you will, from this postal pocket. I don't know, region, control, whatever. All right, so 37. We're getting along here. Like I say, it's been years since I played this unmodded. Yeah, anti-tank guns. There we go. Oh, Ikoki. We are taking a look at Hearts of Iron 4's No Step Back DLC that now has railroads and other great things. I still am convinced, and have long been convinced, that Hoi 4 is the future. Hoi 3 is a dead end. Now, I've gone back and was modding, and we'll get back modding more of Third Reich events for Hoi 3 Black Ice, but this is still, or that is still a dead end. Now, Oh, good. We're here.
Ihre Befehle?
Back there.
Angetreten.
So it's something I like, but still rail about. Okay, looks like we're gonna get that. Okay, now we have captured that. Now, support that attack.
Bereit zum Ausrücken.
Okay, so we're in orange supply territory, so not the best. There, here, we're going to drive over here, get back to fuel. And then we're going to attack there because this unit, I notice, has very little strength. Lots of organization, but no strength. And that would give us a little more supply connection once we get a couple more provinces here. Basically, the supply is from the capital supply hub of trains and trucks to the front. Yes, so far I've been liking what I've been seeing. Oh. Like that one, take that. Now support the attack there so we get the rail link up. They're supplying. I guess what's happening is they're supplying into here now via the sea. So that's putting all of this now on good. We're just seeing what's needed for us here. And now, well, still haven't connected up. But this shows you here why this is important to get some of these provinces here. To get this into rail, you know, right now, yes, we do have supply through the sea, but this is unconnected otherwise. And even if, say, if loyalist Spain still had like this province, this province, this province, this province, this province, and this province, but not these other ones, it wouldn't have a rail link to the sea. So it would be much more limited supply. So this shows the importance of rails. I think most people will be playing the game in supply mode. Yeah, that very well could be. They had this really wacky idea, which it really is. Do we need to have a single unified map? Not so much. Okay, I think we're going to use you to roll up some of these areas that are hopefully out of supply and not getting anything coming in. Though in actuality, they might have been in more supply than... See, now this is a weakness of this game. The supply comes from Madrid. But this could still be supplied from external, meaning non-Spanish forces. That is probably what would have been happening. Actually better supply than in Madrid. Because although Spain has a significant arms production up in this part of Spain, it does not have it in much other places, and most of the arms that the Republicans were getting after a while were coming from the Soviet Union and a few other external sources. Yes, you could do transport planes, but one, you have to have transport planes. Okay, we're gonna keep doing more civil factories like we're doing there, but let's throw on a military factory there. Keep that. Push it. Okay. You push like that. Let's keep pushing along the railroad. your path will be along the coast. Because once this guy collapses, then you're going to move fast.
Ausrücken!
Okay, interwar artillery, yay, whatever. To improved engine. Okay, we're getting close to a full stock of oil, so I think it's time to do another oil silo. Yeah, I don't know how much I should be storing up on oil. You can't have too much, obviously. But I don't know what's the sort of efficiency level or the necessary. Oh, we also, well, yes, we want to... Okay, they're still operating over this part of the battlefield, so that's still useful. Again, have I said how much I hate the air zone system? You guys like when Gamer sounds like a broken record and constantly repeats his bitches about games? Answer, probably no. Welded part, right, okay, are you talking over here? Okay. Basic armor protection, so we should do that. Enables welded armor. Okay, thank you. I had not paid attention to that. We will do that next. Thank you. Gamer might dislike the air zone system, yes.
Angetreten.
You keep going to Granada, which is a major transport hub. I specifically designed this movement that he'd move along the rails there. I didn't know which way they would fall back to, but let's come over here and do a suggestion. Yeah, please keep the suggestions coming. Leave it in cast armor. Yeah, I don't know that I agree with their idea that cast armor is better than welded armor. Doctrines available. Okay. So we could do this. Yeah, we'll take that. Unlock. Experience there, and this is also another change that... Well, since that is now on the front lines and they're pushing it, we're going to try to circle around like that to... Oh, actually, yeah, they'll keep going into there, maybe. Friend Japan. Now, will that allow me... The main reason I'm trying to do this is just so that they will accept for yours and our... If fire engine going by outside, I'm guessing you're hearing. Field Marshal. Okay, now they're fine. Okay, yes, we'll send that. Now we get to see what's going on with a little bit more clarity here in the war. That's sort of why we're doing this. But also it will grant us more army experience. You talking about here? I don't think I can give these guys... No, I can't give this army group a field marshal, if that's what you're talking about. I do have field marshal over here for the main army. Very good. Tank parking. Artillery ATD Norfolk gun. Alright, I'll try to keep some of that in mind there. Okay, got it. That's that. Okay, China issues. No. Our attestation will go where we say yes. That was why we did that. Alright, we could do anti-commentary now that we have that. Treaty with USSR, which will not totally count out that, but would get us some of our let's take a quick look. Let's get these destroyers done. Then that. Those of you who've watched for a while know that I'm a infrastructure first. We don't have a large enough army yet. Okay, so German war economy, that looks great. Integrated economy, which we're probably not going to do, but we might want to align Hungary and Romania. Yeah. They need to add another national focus, because this is the Reich Autobahn. What they need to do, and I'm looking here just in case I'm mistaken, they need to do the Reichsbahn development, particularly in Poland. There was a major effort to standardize and upgrade the Polish railways once they got in control of them well before the invasion of the Soviet Union. I mean, not day one, you know, after getting a hold of Poland, but very, very early in that they start going in and developing the Reichsbahn into both the new German territories and the general government region. Usually century. Then it works. Oh, well, you mean if I had 3 divisions down here, it might work. It might, but the size of my army at the time of heading down to Spain, I could only send 2 divisions. Supplies, well, they're gonna be better now. Okay, more production. Okay, we're almost gonna get that. So let's look at another military factory. And for immediately after that, let's do another civilian factory. Let's look at our people know how much I like naval bombers, so we will start production on naval bombers, especially for Germany, because I don't want to build a large navy. No, toy jet, I'm not going to do the Z plan, sorry. Fuel refining, very nice. Okay, we're getting better. for engine and armor, you can upgrade further. The engine and armor variance limit, you can get increased further with the research. Yes. I was just going to say that no naval. Yep, we're doing them. We're doing naval bombers. We're doing naval bombers. Yeah, let's do a heavy fighter. Let's get that researched. They're useful. They have their uses. Yeah, another synthetic I think would be good. We'll put it out here in the east. Grapplings are pretty useless much of the time. Yep, heavy fighters can escort the naval bombers. They can be good at bomber interception, that type of. No, I've not created a spy agency. That is one area I really have not been playing. Haven't put any ICs into it. Not this, at this time through this playthrough. I'm focusing on getting other things ready. I think would be best. You attacking to there, so that way you're attacking these weak forces there. Yeah. We'll see what we can do about getting naval bombers working good. Oh, they've actually moved the capital down here now. I guess the Spanish have got, the Nationals I should say, got Madrid, so that's capital is down here. So now these guys are the cutoff. Okay, yeah, that we're not gonna cancel that. We're gonna let that go. I'm not worrying about the Dutch right now. Italy announces claims on Yugoslavian territory. As well, insufficient resources. Oh, we need more chromium. Yeah, let's do that with Turkey. If we can keep importing from Turkey, that would be a useful supply source for it. And to pay for that, we'll make another. Obviously, we're paying for it now, but we'll make another civilian factory to pay for it long term. And okay, we definitely have naval bombers starting in production. It's really slow. Well, I think we're going to up the factory for medium tanks. Yeah, one thing will be good with tactical bombers, at least I'm presuming so, is for something like the invasion of the Soviet Union versus, close air support, is how close you're going to find, air bases. So I'm figuring that they are a good option here. We only have one now, but just a combination. I want to get more. Actually, I'm going to reduce this down to 3 and up that by 1. I wanted to get naval bombers in production. There's just so many areas, whether it's the Baltic, the North Sea, the Mediterranean, the Black Sea, wherever you can use naval bombers effectively, as Germany. I should get home defense anti-spy. Yeah, one of the games that we were playing, multiplayer. I think it was Ari who was the spy master, and he did a very good job at it. I'm not. Well, I think I'm okay, or understand the basics of the spy agencies. It's good to do. I'm just focusing on other things, shall we say. Railways, particularly wanting to see about once we get some more ICs build up, or they. I want to use them to increase. Railway levels going. Okay, we have pretty good strong railway levels coming down to here. Railway connection level 2. We're up here, we have level 1. I want to increase some of this here to then get into the Polish system and really see about what's it going to cost to build out railways and whatnot. So I'm sort of focusing the gamer would be experiencing proper UK strategic bombing on his own skin. Yeah. Hey IKB, good to have you here, my friend. Another thing we're also going to have to build, thinking of IKB being here, we're going to need to get the Dora into production here. Really wish they would have. See, it's just their lack of immersion. They have Dora, the big super gun, but they don't have all the other smaller, normal, if you will, whatever you want to call normal railway guns. Yes, sure, I want your railway advice. Doesn't mean I'm going to take it, but I want it. I'm not necessarily smart enough to take it, but I do want it. So we're going to definitely be building up railways, and we may want to build up some railways in through to here. I don't know. Okay, request approved sale of fighters from reserve. Oh, pause. See, now this, pop-ups. People earlier talking about. Have them come up over here, and if they come up over here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab them and move them over here, to actually click on them. Okay, consumer goods for that, Yugoslav goods. Okay. Let's look at our... I don't think we can spare anything. I don't think there's enough here to spare. Never mind. Okay. National Focus Reich Autobahn. Improved engines. Okay, first we're going to come over here now. Not going to do the war economy yet. Gross Realm Wirtschaft. Wow. Destruction, railway construction speed. Yeah, that will do that. Might as well get that before we go too big into things. Hello, Soul XP. How you doing? Only 50 airplanes. Yeah, I know. Yeah, you have those. You have some that sort of you have like Thor and some of the others that are. I don't know if they're technically rail guns. They have their own sort of self-propelled engines, but if you're going to move them any distance, you move them on rails. You know, so maybe a little bit of tactically they weren't railguns, but strategically they were railguns. You had other options than just going with Dora, which is a stupid big railway gun. Just, well, I know they're just picking something for immersion, but whatever. I'm sort of ignoring naval for now. We're doing this. That soon. So just a company. Logistics, or yeah, we'll do logistics. Okay, getting more fuel or more oil. Synthetics, we want to build a few more things, so let's build a couple of military factories next. Ah, built the Cape to Cairo, cool. Okay, so we now have Fac 38s and radios, which is some of the things I was looking forward to using. Building signal companies. Trying to do most things here. Efficiently. Yeah, I think maintenance. That can go in with the armor units. That'll be our next one once we get a free one. Yes, I'm liking all the new mechanics Soul XP that I'm so far encountered. I don't have enough information to see if they're well adjusted yet. Because this is as far as I've played, January 1938, this first game. So we'll have to see about what we think about
Ausrücken!
about things once we get into the game, but so far so good. Curious about the armor builder. Hello, Beam Slam. Good to have you here. I personally think that they have made building railways too cheap and fast, and the supply depots are too expensive and take too long. Okay, well, I've not really looked into the supply depots yet. Yeah. I don't know. I haven't really looked at building any railway stuff. What I would do I don't think there's a cost difference. Okay, does anybody know, like IKB, does it cost different, different amounts to build on different terrain? Do we know that? Supply depots likely represent supply depots, guard units. Is there not just a few warehouses? Yeah, because quite honestly, I haven't looked into it deeply enough. Terrain should be a massive cost variance for railways. Building railways across the Himalayas or across the jungles of Africa should be a lot harder than the plains of Russia. Going through the swamps should be a lot harder than going not through the swamps. Yes, please do test IKB. Now, what I would say, and this is just, I've done sort of. Let me save this here. Just want to save it here. We're still, let's see, let's do that. Back here, I've sort of drawn some railroads, but I really haven't. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Let's. No. Are you not clicking this? Okay, here. Yeah, that's what I was looking for. Click to build railways. So here. So, doing that, building a fresh railroad, versus doing this, isn't it? Oh no, you. Oh, hmm. Okay, so it's state level. Click on the hub and upgrade it. Oh, okay, it's on the hub. Supply hub there. What are we doing? Where? Oh, stop this. Ah. Nope, 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 nope. Stop all this. Okay, so it's the hub here. Oh, stop this. Supply hub. Okay, so it's... No. How do you... Right, telling me in chat already. Modders will make it give me a... Drainage is quite hard. It's an art even Right there, click on the hub and upgrade the computer decides the best way for that. Yes, you want the borders and then enemies hub build. You can hover mouse over it. What goes through plain, lower cost than road, what goes through terrain, river. Try using F4 while on the construction menu. Okay, we can see about that. Click the little numbers over the rails. There. Okay. Okay. So that's going to increase this connection here, and over here is going to increase this. Now, what I would say, and IKB is the expert here, but what I would say, it should be significantly easier. Should be to increase this level here than it would be. Well, at least quicker to do that versus creating a whole new rail line. So that should take longer than upgrading a pre-existing line, because it's not just about how many tracks are going in which direction. It's also about sidings, to allow bypassing, and whether faster trains overtaking slower ones or different trains going in the opposite direction. Plus, it's also about the rail yards and handling the infrastructure. Last bit of the track can supply manually. Yeah, F1 and F2 air, so on. Okay, thank you, Ikoki. Yeah, I'm not used to using hotkeys. I like mouse stuff better. Now, I don't know, has anybody tested, do rivers supply when they're frozen? I wondered about that, because you do understand that if you own both banks of a river, you can trace supply along rivers as well as along railroads. But you have to own both sides of it. I wonder if you'll get supply in, frozen Russian rivers. That's curious to me. And terrain should be massive cost difference everywhere for everything on railways. And I want to see how this supply depot thing works once we really get going into not just building another one here with one of these, but once we get going into the east. That will be not so it would take much longer. I remember socialist governments were quite hesitant to create two-track railroads. They did it only main supply lines, and they seen electrification of railroad tracks as high priority. Yeah, I know in places in the 19th century, I'm pretty sure post-Civil War, I think they were getting in the U.S. Some areas 4 tracks wide in connecting some of these major areas up. But you can even look at, like, for bridging. Most of the time, you're not going to see constant use of a railway bridge over something like this, so that you just can switch back and forth enough to meet the track usage demands, I would say. It's building into the new spots that really should be of a question. But yeah, we'll keep this in mind as we move forward and crush the last of the Spaniards down here. And a bit of testing does seem to be different costs associated with different terrain. Very good, IKB. Because otherwise you can just go over the mountains as easy as you go through the plains and whatnot. Is Nepal Railroad dead zone? I don't know. We probably have to click into it to see. Yeah. I do like, I mean, IKB said he got the Cape to Cairo railway built. I do like that we are looking at basically a historical setting, because, like I say, I would have, because there's a town up here, I forget its name, still in Tanganyika, not yet into Uganda, but that had a rail linkage to Lake Victoria here for the, the Germans and then later the British colony. Don't know why it goes to here. Not that it shouldn't necessarily go to here, but it should also maybe go up to there. A lot of this other looks good. They didn't do the Zambia connection well into the 70s or 80s or something, I think. So that's correct there. Now, I do think this is sort of right, though I thought there was also a southern connection through. I know there is a connection through Botswana, but I thought there was another one through Rhodesia, South Rhodesia into South Africa. Yeah, that's looking more or less. I don't know West African railroads, but that's good. And this just more confirms why you don't have panzer divisions running around Africa. It's coastal. It needs to control the sea. Okay. You can hover over the top, supply next to fuel, so we can see top supply. What are we talking about? 19 days, hills, plains 5. Okay. Were you wanting to... Here's what you're talking about, state levels. Well, yeah, that's just... But I don't know if this is a no-go for building here or not. It's not under my control, so I don't know if we can see this well. That's what you're talking about. Okay, yeah, nothing needs really my attention there. Not far. Sun Temple Radio, I'm a bit confused what I'm supposed to be looking for. Maybe I haven't read up open railway map. Can you hover over the supply next to fuel? Oh, over the supply next to the fuel. You're talking here. Logistics fulfillment, is that what you're talking about here? Here versus convoys. Right, so yeah, so we're at 100% logistics fulfillment for ourselves. There's our fuel. Okay, well, yeah, let's hit them while they're weak. Push on them. Okay, we just took their capital. Well, their capital now moves over to there. Well, let's keep closing this down. Oh, we have the ability to build something more. Okay, I want a few more military things, so let's do that. In production, I know we have... Okay, we won. They won, whatever. Our forces are coming home. Well, I think we're going to end this episode here. I want to thank you all for watching. If you could, please hit the like button and post a comment below. I want to thank Timothy, Toyjet, Chief for your support over on Patreon. If anyone feels like it, there should be a link on the page or on my main channel page if you want to support me over there. But what I really ask, like I say, is hit that like and just post a comment below. That's what I'd really love you all to do. Helps with the algorithm and such like that. So thank you all. See you next time for more, yes, even more Hearts of Iron.